I'm Ben Lee, welcome back to my channel, friends. Today we're gonna be talking about my daily life here in Costa Rica and what my routine typically consists of from waking up in the morning to going to bed at night. Let's jump in. So this is what I've learned about routines over the years. It's okay to change it up. Your body's constantly changing, as are you. The seasons are changing, the environment's changing. So first, listen to what you want and be okay with it. So currently my morning routine typically consists of trying to get back on track with the 5 a.m. Club. It's a book by Robin Sharma. It's a great framework that suggests if you can get up 1 hour before your kids, spouse, or partner, anyone in your house basically, and use that hour to focus on self-care, whether it's through mindfulness, intention setting, exercise, goal setting, you will be a much more healthier, happier, and productive person. So since I am trying to get back on track, I give myself a bit of a break and I set the alarm for 5:30. As soon as the alarm goes off, I do not check my phone, which most people do. I keep my phone in another room. I do not sleep with any devices nearby. And I make a noon drink. And since I am not taking coffee right now, it's something that I cycle on and off. I just listen to my body and I just sometimes crash when I drink too much coffee. So I put this in water, I let it dissolve, I have a quick drink. I put on my Apple Watch and I do a 20-minute HIIT workout on my Apple TV. It's something just to get my body moving, just to get blood flowing, get my heart rate going. And if you look at the framework, this is the first activity you should do. So whether you're doing yoga or stretching or going for a walk or you're doing a HIIT workout, getting movement going as early as possible is the best way to start your day. So depending on how I'm feeling that day and how I feel after the workout, I typically will either do a journaling exercise. I use Day One, which is a great app that I've used over the years, and I either do kind of more of a free form style, or I get prompted and they give me some ideas and I journal based on that prompt. Or what I'll do is I will do a 20-minute mindfulness practice. So I use the Muse S Band. It's a real-time neurofeedback device, and it's giving you such useful information, how to become better at practicing meditation and mindfulness. So I use the heartbeat path on the app and I just find my flow. So the third activity in the 5 a.m. Club framework is your growth. So I have a whole folder dedicated to this. So after I do the mindfulness practice, I open up Todoist and I've got a folder called Read, Review, Learn. And in Read, Review, Learn, I've got articles, I've got things that I've started over the years, I've got YouTube videos, I've got books. So I literally choose anything that would be good to consume in 20 minutes or less. I typically would start a video or I might jump in and pick up a book that I've been reading. For reading, I use Voice Dream. Voice Dream is a really helpful app, especially for people like me who are sometimes ADHD and have thoughts constantly racing and especially have difficulties focusing reading on a device. I take the book or a PDF, I plug it into Voice Dream, and then I get audio playback while I'm reading. So I get to have a lot more retention of what I'm reading, and I could read a lot faster because I could do like 1.5 or 2x speeds. That's typically how I'm reading when I'm using a device. So depending on how I'm feeling after meditation, I'll check in with some friends, I'll see what the surf condition's like. Hopefully there's no red tide, and I will go out and swim and surf for 2 hours. There's something so energizing about starting your morning being in the water. It's one of the best feelings in the world. That's the beauty of living in Costa Rica. You've got such incredible surf places in such a condensed radius. In 2 kilometers here, we've got like 7 different surf breaks. So even if the surf isn't good, there's always something and it's always quite consistent. So now it's about 9:30 or 10, I get out of the water. And again, depending on how I'm feeling and where I'm at currently with different things that I'm practicing, like intermittent fasting, I may or may not eat breakfast. Presently, I'm not eating breakfast because I'm doing intermittent fasting till about noon, and I'm also not drinking coffee. So I wouldn't do either. I'd have coconut water or I'd have just normal water, and then I get ready for the day. All right, so now it's about 10:30. I'm at my desk. I'm ready to start my work day. First thing I'm gonna do is set intentions for the day. What do I wanna accomplish? And even if I don't accomplish everything, you know, I write it all down, and I also have like a someday maybe card. I got this from Ugmonk. I first discovered it on Ollie Abdul's YouTube channel, and it's been a pretty cool productivity system for me. Even though I use something else, a digital tool, I use Todoist for my productivity and what I'm supposed to be accomplishing that week. I like to just have this kind of floating here and reminding me of, you know, what I should be focusing on and try not to get too distracted. So my calls are typically from 11 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on Zoom. And I use this block to basically distribute my time between coaching or strategy work that I need to do, or some of my real estate projects that I'm doing here, or working with my creative team. I've got 5 people on my team that do various things. We work on various projects in tech and blockchain and other sectors. So I try to stick to my schedule and what's on my calendar and not try to get too distracted with WhatsApp and Telegram and Discord and all the various channels and calls and text, all the things that want to throw us off our game for that day. And it happens to me every single day. It's always a battle trying to regain your focus. But you know, between some of the systems that I've created in my calendar, I really try to just use that 11 to 4 window to get all the key meetings done. Probably not the best habit, but I typically just eat really quickly, you know, in between meetings around 1:30 p.m. You know, one of the things I miss about working with my company in Uruguay is, you know, sitting down for lunch is like such a ritual. You know, you're not eating and you're not on your device, and you're not working and eating, and everybody sits around the table and has conversation, and it's a community activity. The whole company does it, you know, always typically at the same time. So I definitely miss that feeling, and I've not been doing it. But you know, that's okay. I live a pretty good life here, so I'm not complaining. So after a quick lunch, charge through the day, and then 4 p.m. comes around, and that's pretty much the time when it's time to put pencils down. 4:30 is really when almost everybody here in Costa Rica is ready to start kind of, you know, getting ready for sunset or a second surf session or some other afternoon activity. You know, one of the cool things about living here is the community and this sunset ritual that everyone has, which is not be engaged on your devices, not be, you know, listening to music, but being outside, talking to people, going out with your dog, hanging out, surfing, doing all these things and being a part of nature and being in tune with like the most incredible sunset you've ever seen. So after sunset, I'll typically go see a friend of mine who's got a pretty cool sauna and cold plunge at his place, and it's right across the street from where I'm living. So I walk over there. Right now it's typically around 5:30 or 6, and he's got a really cool sequence. We do it about 5 to 7 times where we go do the sauna and the cold plunge for about 40 minutes. And this is something so incredibly powerful for reducing inflammation. I've got a lot of sinus issues here from the dust and from the humidity and from the heat. So it's something that is just really, really powerful and healing, especially if you got any injuries from surfing or anything else. The sauna cold plunge combo is really, really powerful, but you always got to remember to end on the cold plunge. Otherwise, you're going to be just really hot and sweaty and everything, you know, for the rest of the night if you end on the sauna one. So the rest of the night is typically being a part of the community, taking bed time, whether, you know, I want to eat with friends or maybe I want to eat alone. But just being able to be a part of the really cool community that this place has to offer. So I'd like to start winding down around 9:30, you know, put on some YouTube videos, whether it's a surf video or educational video or Vice documentary or something of that nature. You know, I use that time to just start kind of calming everything down and not engaging with my phone or any devices and just sort of like chilling. Maybe reading a book, maybe listening to a podcast, but just getting ready for bed. Now, this is my routine. This is what feels right for me. You might have something different. If you do, I'd love to hear what yours looks like, because I'm always trying to make changes and incorporate things, especially because I try not to get stuck with one for too long. This is what has been working for me. It's been giving me a lot of energy. It may not work for you, but in either case, I'd love to hear from you. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Super stoked to be back here on the tube, guys, and I can't wait to see you next time.